Hey guys, my name is Adri. This is the start of my transition journey. As of 11 a.m. this morning, it's now like 1:42 p.m. I'm officially on testosterone, which is super exciting. So it's March 31st, 2016, which is like actually Trans Day of Visibility. So that's kind of awesome. Yeah, I had my second appointment with the endocrinologist. She wrote me my prescription, so I went to the went to like fill it at the pharmacy. It was like a long process, and I'm just talking about that now. Went to the pharmacy. The pharmacist lady at the till, she was kind of like giving me a hard time about it. Like, I gave her the prescription. She's like looking at it, and was like, is this for you? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. Why? And then she's like, oh, nothing. This just usually isn't prescribed to women. And I was like, well, the fact that you just called me a woman is actually like why I'm taking this medication. So like, leave me alone. So anyway, like, whatever. She said that it would take about 15-20 minutes. So I was just sitting in the waiting room, like the little waiting area. And then I was like watching as they were trying to like get it together. There's the one pharmacist, and then they gradually, like, all the other pharmacists kind of went over and were kind of like, you know, like looking at it. And I was just like, how many pharmacists does it take to like fill a testosterone prescription? Like, it was kind of amusing. But I overheard one of them being like, oh, this is like the second one of these we've gotten this week. And I was just like, okay. They obviously don't prescribe hormones very often, I guess. But yeah, so when they gave it to me, it only ended up costing like $13 because of my prescription, or because of my insurance that I still have under my parents because I'm under 21. So it was only $13 for 3 months, I believe. So that's like not bad at all. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like $70 or something. So anyway, they gave it to me. I paid for it, and then I noticed that it was like just the box. So I asked, it's like, does it come with like needles or anything? And they're like, oh no, like the doctor will do that. The doctor will do that for you. And I was like, okay, well, I know that, like, I'm gonna obviously go to the doctor to get my first shot so they can show me how to do it, but for the most part, trans people, from what I've heard, like, if they're not afraid of needles or whatever, will start doing it themselves after like the second or third shot. So I asked, like, if they had any needles for that so I could do it myself, and then they're like, oh no, we don't. Just ask, you know, when you go get your shot, like, ask the doctor for needles. And I was like, okay, that works, I guess. So I marched on across the street to the most, like, oh my god, I can't even like describe this waiting room at this hospital, like at this clinic. It was ridiculous. I waited there for about an hour and a half because there's a few other people in there before me. Oh my god, it was just like, it didn't have one of those signs. It's like, no cell phones, like, be quiet, be courteous of other patients. It was just, oh, this one person was just on their phone, like, just talking so loud. It was like laughing at that, and then was like, there was another person that was like hacking. And I mean, like, what do you expect when you go to like a walk-in clinic? Like, I don't know, but it was just like, it was a combination of like all of these noises that I was just like, oh my god, I want to die. And then when I was sitting in the waiting room, it's like, then it struck me that I was like, as I was holding this box in my hand, I was like, this is it, you know? Like, this is what I've been waiting 6 years to take. I mean, like, I haven't been on the waiting list for 6 years, but like, that's when I first, you know, found out that I was trans. So I was just like looking at it, and I was like, oh my god, like, I cannot believe that, you know, I'm waiting to get this actually injected inside of me. And I kind of had like a little panic moment. I was just like, is this really what I want to do? Is this really what I want to do? Even though I've like been thinking about it for, you know, like I said, the past 6 years, and I was just, it didn't like dawn upon me, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I guess that kind of like panic was like short-lived, and then I started to get really excited. So I was really worried about what the doctor was gonna say, just because it's like, it says, I was reading the instructions, and it's like, not for women, or like not for cis women. And it's like, well, obviously, like, you wouldn't want a cis woman, or like a trans woman, taking testosterone. Like, you know, that's not gonna work out in their favor. So I was like, oh, the doctor is gonna ask me like why I'm taking this. And I've heard some really bad stories from other people in the trans community, like talking about their like going to see their family doctor or whatever. This guy's at my family doctor. I just went in to get my shot, like it was just a walk-in clinic. So I was worried that he's gonna be like, oh, you don't need to be taking these, like you're fine as a woman, like that kind of thing. So I was like praying that he wasn't gonna ask and they could just make the assumption. But so of course when I went in, he asked what was wrong with me, and I just said that I needed to get my first I needed to get an injection and like to be shown how to do it. And so he was like looking at the box and like was like, so why are you taking this? And I was just like, here we go. So I just said straight up, I was like, oh, I'm trans. And he was like, oh, okay, that's whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. He took me off to the like the room where they like do the things, like you know. So he gave me the show me how to do it, showed me how much like it needs to be filled up, and then gave me the injection on my butt. I was hoping it wouldn't have to be on the butt. I was hoping it would be on the thigh, but like whatever. It didn't hurt. He was like, just so you know, this is a really, really big needle. And I was like, because it's like it is a thicker like liquid. Like I'll show you. I didn't realize how thick it was. Let's see if you can like see it. It's like, hold on. It's kind of like, you know, like it's like a bit thicker. So it's like, it's a bigger needle, obviously. And so I was like, oh my God, it's gonna hurt so much. Like I wasn't ready for that. And then he like poked it and it was fine. I hardly felt it. And then so I asked him like if I could have some needles, and he was like, well, technically we're not supposed to hand them out, like, because the owners will get mad. And I was like, oh, okay, well, and then, but he gave me some anyways, in like a little glove, because they didn't have a bag. So yeah, I have, what was it, like 5 uses? Like there's like 5 needles in here, which is like, you know, like enough until I'm gonna have to go get like my prescription refilled, so whatever. So yeah, I'm now officially on testosterone. That's so exciting. I still like, it still doesn't feel real. My hopes with starting testosterone obviously is like to transition and pass full-time as male. I know that's not going to be happening anytime soon. My like biggest hope, like as far as like, okay, trigger warning here, we're gonna like talk about you know, like body image. My chest, it's like I have a bigger chest. I haven't had surgery yet or anything. And I'm not even on the waiting list, so it's gonna be a while. I heard that taking testosterone can like helps reduce like the fat in that area, so it will hopefully become easier to bind, because like I bind every single day, but it's still obvious that kind of like I have a chest. I'm hoping that maybe like as I get further on T, people will just think that I have like pecs, which would be like weird, because like I'm like not strong at all, not muscular, so it'd be like, why does this guy have like, you know, pecs for days and like no muscle, like you know. So I'm just hoping that will help, you know, with binding and make that a little bit easier. That's really my biggest concern right now. I'm gonna start working out too, because I'm pretty big in the thighs, and a common myth I guess with taking T is that it's like, oh, the fat is gonna redistribute. It's like, it doesn't shift around. It's like if I start gaining, I mean, as far as I'm aware, like if I'm wrong, correct me, this is just what I've heard, it won't like start shifting around and, you know, like go to my stomach or like go to my, like I don't know where else it would go, but I hope all my fat doesn't go to my stomach, because then I would have like stomach like 10 miles long. But it's just like starting, like now that I'm taking T, like I would start gaining weight in like the more male areas, like in the stomach, but it's like not gonna, like all the fat isn't gonna shift. It's just if I lose it, it like won't like go back there, I guess, unless I stop taking it. So I'm gonna start like working out and hopefully get rid of like my hips and like my butt, because I have like a butt and hip for days. A butt and a hip, just one hip, no, both of my hips. So I'm hoping that like that will decrease a little bit. Apparently testosterone is also supposed to give you more energy, so I'm gonna hope that will help, because going to the gym and like I run and stuff like that, and it's just like, it's so hard sometimes. Like I just don't have the energy, like especially because I work like 5 days a week, and I have a really like labor intensive job, and it's just, yeah, I'm hoping that like that energy thing is gonna work out in my favor, and hopefully it won't give me energy at like the wrong times of the days. Like, you know, I'll be in bed at 1 a.m. like wide awake, like ready to run a marathon. Like I hope that does not happen. But yeah, I'm gonna try to post as many updates as I can. I'm really excited to do this whole vlogging thing, honestly, because I've been watching trans guys on YouTube since I discovered I was trans. That was how I figured out I was trans, actually, is I was this one trans guy who is like not active on YouTube anymore, unfortunately. Like watching his videos. I don't know how I stumbled across it, but I was just like, it was like a light bulb just like went off, you know? So I'm really like attached to the YouTube community for that sense, and like I'm really thankful that it's so educational, and there's there's thousands and thousands of trans guys like documenting their transition. And as someone who that helped me a lot when I was younger, and like I'm hoping to maybe do the same. So I'm gonna keep updates posted, and yeah, hopefully more videos talking about stuff like that. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry if you like sat through this whole thing. It's probably like really long, but yeah, have a great day.